I like that. I understand that because you not just like you say your own seat. You create your own lane in anything you do.
Right.
Like we're gonna talk about the drill music comments, right? That you talked about with the whole. You're not playing records where these drill artists are dissing each other.
Correct.
And you took a strong stance on that. And you were criticized, but you were also praised by people.
More praise, but of course, when you speak up, you're gonna get criticized, and I already aware of that. But it's coming from a place where I have relationships with these artists. I speak with these artists off the mic. I know what they're thinking. I know what they're going through. I know what their friends are going through. Even though they could go on records and talk all this gangster stuff, they don't really want to beef. They don't really want to kill each other. No. But they're so deep into it that it's hard being a young man from the hood with egos to speak up and to show that side. So I said, one, I'm personally tired of hearing and seeing people I know dying, getting locked up. You know what I'm saying? These are kids that I'm going out my way to support. They get some opportunities and then lose it because of whatever it is, and they blame it on the hood, which is cool, but they're putting that energy in the music, right? When you hear the records and when I see Lou, I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. What do you think's gonna happen when I see Lou? Either you're gonna kill me or I'm gonna have to kill you because now it's out. It's in the atmosphere. It's in the atmosphere.
You're putting it out there. It reminds me of Biggie and Pac,
right?
Where it don't matter. Oh, you listen to Biggie, Pop. You listen to Pac, Pop.
Right.
So it's like it's getting to that dangerous, space where it's just music, fam. You know what I'm saying? It's just
make the music.
Make the music.
But let's try to avoid the violence of it. And that was my thing. And it's coming from the artist point. That's why I don't understand how artists get mad. I'm saying if I'm giving you the heads up, like, Lou, I don't know if you paying attention, but the streets is trying to kill you. The police are trying to arrest you. Only because you said something that they don't agree with. So you diss somebody, so now they want to hurt you. The police heard it. Now they want to get you to avoid any violence. Mm-hmm. Why don't you just stop dissing? That's all it was.
Yeah, and make great music.
Right. Continue to do what you do best. I love your music. I love drill music. But just stop dissing.
Yeah, it's and you can make more money that way. And you can not infect, that's bad with the COVID going on. You can influence more people that way. But my thing is this, right? I'm curious because I like drill. I don't listen to it a lot, but in the gym, I have a little drill music on. But my thing is this, is drill music, like the culture behind it, does it come from gangs? Does it come from violence? Is that already ingrained in the DNA?
The origin?
The origin, yeah.
The bigger early drill records, the origin is coming from a diss standpoint.
Gotcha.
Right? So I can't speak on Chicago. We're not from Chicago. But I know a lot of New York artists were influenced by the Chicago drill. Once they brought it to New York, they were doing like the drill records, but it was when the artists like 22G's and Chef G started doing the beefing on the records is when I think the kids and the youth were entertained and
they got hype.
I got hyped.
Yeah.
I thought it was like cool. Y'all going at it on music. I love it. Give me both your records. I'll play it. I love the energy. I love that you're building a following. These kids are following you guys. And that just opened the door for other artists to do it. They thought that was the format. But then all the guys around 22G's are dying. All the people around Chef G are going to jail. And it's like, oh, nah, this is real. This ain't, you know.
They're killing each other.
Yeah, it's real. Like,
it's real. Like, this is not hip hop. It sounds good on record, but now it's trickling into real life.
Because you're not just keeping it to the music. It's happening in real life. And as an adult and as a father now, in the past 8 weeks, I'm like, wow, I only know this little girl for 8 weeks, and I love her like none other. So I can only imagine what other parents feel when their kids are.
Oh my God, like, it's disheartening.
Yeah, it was just like, all right, it's too much. Like,
and I think it's very powerful for you to take a stance like that with the voice that you have, and in the position that you're in, and really give people that influence. Like, you know what, Drew's got a point.
Right.
And I think your voice, and a lot of people picked it up. I mean, that thing went everywhere.
Crazy.
Which is crazy. I didn't even expect. Yeah.
I posted it in my Instagram stories, right? Where we all know the stories get maybe a quarter of what you made.
Yeah.
So it was just like a story post because another young man I knew, T. Wu, another kid, Nas Blicky, that same week, one got shot and died. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not playing none of this shit. It's just inciting violence.
Yeah.
Just because that's how I felt at the moment. And then everyone must feel the same way, and they just jumped on board.
Absolutely, because you brought it to the forefront, and now the chain reaction is happening, the conversation is happening.
Right.
There wasn't no conversation before. I think Joe Budden said something today, right?
Yeah, he spoke, but like throughout the week, everyone's been
academics. I believe talked about it.
Jim Jones mentioned it in the interview. Someone asked him about it. Remember Star and Buck Wild?
Yes.
Star has his own podcast. He brought it up. A lot of people are talking about it because it must have been on everyone's mind. They were just didn't know how to say it.
And you started that ripple effect.
Right.
But that's what I love, because again, it goes back to your DNA as a person. You start everything. And you have the heads up on everything that's like awareness, whether it's, we'll get more into the movement space thing later, but you kind of just like throw the pebble in the water and it just reverberates.
Yeah, and it's like, if I'm quick to take all the credit for playing it first, and I'm going to be quick to like give my opinion on it too. Like, you can't tell me how I could feel. I'm not saying you could play it all day. Everyone in here could play it. I'm just not playing the diss records. I'm still gonna play drill. I love drill music.
Yeah.
And I got records that are coming out with drill artists. It's just we're not dissing nobody on it.
Yeah, you want to. It's all about let's keep everybody alive. Let's make money. Let's further the culture.
Right. Let's grow.
Not bring the culture back. I mean, you seen what happened to Nip. You seen what happened to Biggie and Pac. You seen what happened to all these
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph just it's sad, man, because everybody's so talented and we just want to make money, but I think it's, again, the energy that music creates. Some people really ride that and they forget it's actually a business.
Right.
Like, this is art, but there's also a business behind it. It's not just shoot 'em up, bang, bang.
Nah, the music is part of our life. It's pretty much like the score to our life, right? So like when you're feeling a certain way, you go listen to music. When you're in the gym, you listen to music. When you're driving, you listen to music. These kids are consuming the music on YouTube, and when, you know what I'm saying, that's part of their life. Like, what are they listen to music all clearly. When a record, like, shout out to K Flock, got 20 million streams on just YouTube.
Wow,
that means people are paying attention. Yeah, like.
Yep. Do you think it'll take a seasoned artist? Like, I know Jim Jones just dropped an album, the drama series, where he put a lot of young artists on there.
Right.
Do you think it'll take a seasoned artist that actually been through the war, like Jim Jones, to kind of put these kids under the arm? Or is it more than that? Do we need full awareness from everybody? I
think one from everybody, but we need the young leaders, the young influencers to speak up, right? Because now if someone like
little
Jim
Dirk?
Jones speaks up, like Jim Jones speaks up, they're like, oh, he's an OG. Oh, he was a gang member. Oh, he did the gang. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at Jim Jones like he knows what he's talking about. He has experience. They're not looking at it like that. We need the young, the little Dirks to speak up. The 5-year foreigners to say, yo, we love the music, but we don't promote or, we don't agree with the violence. But it's hard for someone that's doing it to say it. It's kind of like contradicting in a sense. Like, so I understand. As an artist, it's hard to say it because your songs are about it. So how can you tell someone don't do it when you're doing it?
And they're still at that level where I guess they're not mature enough to. You know, like you've been doing this forever, and I've been listening to music forever. And even Jay-Z, how ignorant he was 20 years ago, now look at him.
Right.
But it took 20 years for him to learn. And, the record that he dissed Nas and said all that crazy stuff. And now they're like business partners. So anyway, it's just.
But nobody died.
Nobody died.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody died in the Jay-Z Nas beef.
You think it's clout chasing? You think it's
a lot of it is. They're babies. They're 18, 17, 16. They say, oh, I could get a bunch of views if I just diss somebody, and I get it. So now they're like, all right, let me just diss somebody so I could get my views up or my followers up or whatever it is. That's part of it.
Yeah, I really hope it gets better, man. And I think, like I said, your ripple effect that you started with, I think that's going to reverberate. And I think the narrative and the conversation is going to open up more.
Right.
And I think you're going to be the reason behind that because it needs to be, talked about,
right?
Because if not, you're gonna God forbid, it's gonna take like a bigger artist passing away, God forbid, for it to really be awareness. But remember what Drewski was talking about,
right?
Oh man, but now they want to care about it.
But Pop Smoke should have been that example for the kids. Like, he was your biggest drill artist.
He was the next Biggie to me in New York. Like,
yeah, for
he had
New York,
that influence.
Yes,
he had that influence.
So what more? Like, you know, it's just we don't know what what happened to Pop and why, but it was like, yo, come on, we don't want to keep losing young leaders like that. Like, come on, like it's too much. And when I'm speaking, it's on behalf of the artists. Like, we trying to look you out. The police are using the lyrics and the content in your videos to indict you, to
it's like hip-hop police again.
Yeah, no, they're prosecuting these artists based on the lyrics and like if I make a song and say, when I see Lou, I'ma kill him, you just happen to die. I'm first person they looking at. Even if I didn't even have nothing to do with it. And it's like, yo, let's try to avoid that.
Everybody just make great music and just make money, feed your families, and push the culture forward.
That's all we ask for.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to, you know, your story. Like,